approach this debate not just as a member of this House, but also as a teacher who taught students who are directly affected by this year's exams. COVID-19 has presented us with an exceptional set of circumstances, meaning tough decisions needed to be made. In the end, Ofqual's decision to use centre-assessed grades was the correct one, and this government was right to back it. As a teacher, you go out to bat for your kids. You are 50-50 on a grade to award, then you're naturally going to want your students to do well. However, this is also matched with professionalism and fairness. The professional judgment of our teachers is exceptional, but we still need things such as moderation, and there will always be some schools who award grades differently to others. And this is why the original system was a well-intentioned one, and tried to correct this in the fairest possible manner. And with hindsight, we can now say the appeals process would not be able to handle the excessive numbers of results which needed reassessing due to the algorithm, and this would simply not be possible in the time available. When it became clear this couldn't be done, we made the right decision by our students. I also welcome the early decision made on the awarding of GCSE results and ensuring BTEC students were not forgotten in all this. So have we seen grade inflation? Yes, but this is a small price to pay compared to the disruption and unfairness that would have been the alternative. Yeah. So where do we go next? My biggest concern is making sure we support those who are in Year 10 and Year 12 and halfway through their courses, so taking their exams in 2021. I'm delighted there's a COVID catch-up plan, and we must now focus on getting them the outcomes that they deserve. And getting students back into school this September is a crucial part of that. And I want to thank our heads, our teachers, our governors and our support staff for making this possible. And now we need to make sure we can keep them open. Grade inflation now could affect students next year, so we also need to make sure that this is dealt with. And whilst many suggested that students could defer university places, the reality is that most want to go to their chosen universities and they want to do it now. In my constituency, we'll have a new £3.5 million university campus in Worksop to train healthcare professionals, thanks to a partnership with the Health Trust, the University of Derby and my old university, Nottingham Trent. And I hope they'll then choose to stay in Bassett Law to work in their chosen careers. Madam Deputy Speaker, this should not be about playing politics with our children's education. In Scotland, education is controlled by the SNP. In Northern Ireland, by the Executive. And of course in Wales, controlled by Labour and led by a Liberal Democrat. I will give way.
There's been a lot of strong and emotive language actually being used in this chamber. My honourable friend is absolutely correct that swift action was actually taken by this government to actually deal with what this perceived crisis, chaotic turmoil, shambles. And does my honourable friend agree that education is so important that it should not be politicised?
But the Honourable Lady has had 2 interventions. She's not even down to speak. So that means that somebody who is down to speak is now not going to be able to speak. That is the reality. Brendan Clarke-Smith.
Speaker, and I thank my honourable friend for her intervention. Getting back on track is the number one thing. But as I've said, education has been controlled by different parties across the UK. The main point here, though, is it's been an incredibly difficult process for everybody. And the main thing was that we make the right decision by the students, which I think everybody in this House would want to do. So let's concentrate on that today and the next step, and not on political point scoring. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.